G'day lovely people, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. That'll be Sting, possibly the best bike in the world, I think. This will be River, possibly the worst at the moment. Now if you've watching this one to try and watch me weld, I'm going to disappoint you. I've moved past that. I'll show you the results of that either in this upload or in the next one. But yeah, I didn't film my welding, sorry. It's probably just as well, it's fucking awful. But hopefully it achieves what it needs to do. I've ordered the ECU, ordered the lock set, it's coming through, it's going to take a while. Apologies, post isn't, international post isn't great, but what I wanted to do was introduce my purchase. So the intention was to use Shiver as my commute, but it's going to take longer than I thought, and I needed a decent fallback that may actually end up overtaking events and being the bike, and at the moment it's due to be this one. So what we have here is a 2007 CBF 1000 that I got for peanuts, frankly. So that was £1,500. It is ULEZ compliant, which is the main thing. It is an amazing commute bike, renowned for being an amazing commute / touring bike, and it's 1000 cc's of fun, and it is just fucking yeah, it is quite nippy. I did film some of my return trip that was a lot longer than I anticipated because I got lost several times, but and I might chuck some of that in. I'll see how it's come out. I'm not talking, I'm not chatting, because frankly I was concentrating on riding a new bike that I was getting used to, and actually the jump up from tearing your ass around on a 400, do that on a 1 litre bike, even a detuned blade like this one, and you'll fucking die. So I was being a little bit more cautious than anything else. But right, so the story on this, from really nice chap selling it, really nice chap, was that he bought it to use it and then lost his license, and then it's just sat fallow since then, pretty much. Started on the button, rode fine, no great shakes, a couple of bits that I'll jump you in on. While we were chatting, he said, "Oh, I've got a box for it if you want it, it's bloody horrible." I went, "Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be using it for commuting, so I'll probably only just buy one anyway." And he pulled this out, and it's the proper one. It's the colour matched one for the bike, which is pretty fab. And he also had the side pannier pieces as well. And we then spent about an hour trying to work out how to put it on, because I took the bus there to ride the bike back, trying to work out how on earth it fitted on, and then fitting it with effectively his Meccano tool set, which was funny, to say the least. But anyway, so I've got the side panel pieces. I don't think I'm ever going to use those. I don't want to get the side boxes for it. I don't intend to use it for touring. I'm using it for work commuting. The top box, though, as ugly as they are and as ugly as this one is, I probably will end up using and keeping on, but not just yet. I don't need it quite yet. I'll stick with my backpack for now. So what I am going to do is strip all of this off and store it, and if I use it all the time, or if I sell it, it will go with it, or yeah, yada yada yada, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so chucked it in for free, which was fine. He had no purpose for it. So let's have a bit of a delve, shall we? So at the back I've got the top box. He's never used it, so it's still got whatever lettering was on there to start with. I'm assuming that'll just rub off, don't know. It's got a few scratches, it's got a few chunks out of it, but yeah, fundamentally it's a top box on a commute bike. It's absolutely fine. So 07 plate, it's got the original exhaust, which is kind of cool. Now they're loud enough and they don't blow. I might see if I can find the slot in the video where I pulled up next to a bus on the way back going through Harrow, and the bus driver gave me the nod and asked me to give him a rev, and fuck me. Yeah, it bombs nicely, but it doesn't make too much noise when you're riding it. I mean, it is quite a, I mean, it's a litre bike, but it's down tuned, but it is quite a It's quite a gentlemanly bike, but it can shout like a bastard. Anyway, that's fine. So original exhaust. There's shed loads left on the tyres, which are Sport Max. Are they both Sport Max? Nope. Sport Max, yeah. A pair of Sport Max. Cool, good tyres, and good name. The wheels are good. The wheels both very good, actually. The discs are fine. There is no ribbing around them. I'm just slurgling my way around it. Chain looks in fucking amazing condition, frankly, as does the sprocket, which is nice. It rides really smoothly. It's still got the original hugger. Coolant looks fine. Shock looks absolutely bangers. Yeah, all good from that side. He said there was a relatively new battery in it, but it's something I might want to check. I've got to work out where it is first, because weirdly it's not under the seat. Engine looks clean. He has just changed the oil, so he said, and it does look nice and clean, so that's fine. Goes off all four, which is cool. Pipes are black anodised or painted at some stage, which is fine. It actually has a centre stand, which is a little bit of a novelty, but I'm really happy with. Like bikes with centre stands, it makes maintenance so much easier. Just rattling around the bottom end. Front wheel looks great. The tyre looks great. Forks are old. They might get a bit of paint at some stage or another. Brakes are fine, but I think just out of routine I'm going to put new pads in them at some point before I hand the mantle of the commute bike over to this one. Tiny bit of scoring on the front wheel, but it's fine. Discs, there is I don't know if these are new discs, because there is no lip at all. It's entirely uniform across, whereas I'm used to bikes with a tiny bit of lipping on them, and not a chunk, but a tiny bit. Fork seals are fine. Bounce them up and down a few times. I like the CBF cover on the radiator. Paint is a little bit old. On the wall wound side, it has been over on both sides at some point briefly. I mean, certainly on the high side, it's super minor. But the front mudguard has escaped one way or another. It's had a heavier on this side at some point or another, so it's through to the plastics, which I might have to do something about. There. Oh, be right back. Posty. So carrier lights had a drop there, which is at some point probably taken out the glass out of the rear view, out of the mirror. Doesn't bother me, because I think because I'm going to use it as a commute bike, I might get the same indicators that I used on the Thundercat, with the mirrors with the indicators in them. Just because I quite like those, and it makes the indication nice and obvious for other drivers on a commute. Yeah, a little bit of scarring down the side. Whatever it's done enough to shave down the crash bung, which has done its job, actually, I have to say, because there isn't really that much battle damage down the left, down the low side. So well done. But I'm going to have to, just for aesthetic reasons, get a replacement, I'm sure. Down the other side, so right at the back of the exhaust, there's a little bit of a love tap gone on there. So yeah, looking cool. Now the one bit that I do need to do, and I noticed it the second I sat on it, is that, well, right, I noticed it the second I'm lying there. I did notice it the second that I started to ride on it, and I was thinking the forks were twisted. And the more I looked at it, the more I felt, I thought, it's fine. I got off, and this is why before I'd agreed to buy it, I got off and had a look and checked up and down the forks, and the forks are perfectly straight. I was thinking, what the fuck's going on? But, and I'm not sure how this is going to come across. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it, but the handlebars are, that one is pushed forward. And as I was riding it, I thought, this doesn't feel right. So, looked at it. Before I bought it, I thought, there's a twist there. Looked up and down the forks. There's nothing, you know, the body of the bike is not twisted, which otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. I was thinking again, there's something wrong, and I thought at the time, I wonder if the spacings were out or one was pushed up or whatever. But then I looked at it again and thought, oh no, it's alright, it's just the handlebar. And then as I was riding home, feeling a little bit cockeyed, but you get used to it, don't you? It's weird. Feeling a bit cockeyed, I looked down, caught it at the right angle and went, that's the bar. Well, brilliant, because that's nice and simple. And in fact, I might check one of my spares up the top there that I've used on previous bikes. Not the gold one, that would look awful, but I think the silver one will look okay. Yeah, so the only thing I do need to do is swap the handlebar out, which is a nice simple one that I'll probably do shortly actually. Looking at the bike itself, I'm not going to start it up because it's not loud, but it's also quite early. But looking at the bike itself, lovely flashing lights. It's got the Honda security system thing, so it's coded to the keys. I've got 2 keys, which is great. It's got ABS. I was concerned when I got home yesterday. I thought, oh shit, the ABS lights come on. That ABS light stays on and goes off when you hit 6 miles an hour for some slightly fucking ridiculous reason, frankly. I haven't quite worked out. And it's fuel injected, obviously. So I'm going to have a lot less fucking around with carbs to do. Mileage is quite high, 50,000 for a 2007 bike. That is quite high, but it's a Honda, they go forever. So that doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to strip all of the carriage system off, just because it looks fucking awful more than anything else. Like I say, I don't need the box now, but I do need it later. I would like to clear it up a little bit before I chuck it back on the bike. The framework and the metalling is a bit, I believe the technical word for it is wanky, which needs some tidying up as well before it goes back on the bike. But I'm in absolutely no rush for that. What I would like to do though, sooner rather than later, is sort out the handlebars. It's got heated grips. These are, apparently they still work, but I haven't tested them yet. Sort out the handlebars and then take it out for a ride, I suppose. Little bits of other damage, but frankly it's going to be a commute bike. It doesn't need to be beautiful. Cool. Let's start getting these handlebars sorted and the frame off. Right, so that was quicker to get off with the right tools than it was to get on with the wrong ones. It's all sorted. I'm just looking at that. I wonder if it's supposed to have grab rails. Doesn't bother me, I never have a pillion passenger. But, cool. Yeah, I mean, that just, profile of that is just so much better. Right, I was going to have a look at those handlebars. Let's get that going. Right, and there we go. There's the old ones off, and actually, they are really bent. Look at that. No wonder it felt weird. Yeah, they're trash. I think I'll keep the metal because I might use it for something. A really botched way of attaching the bar ends. It's really weird, but hey, yeah, they're fucked. Got the new ones on. I just need to stick something in the inside of that because that's twisting. I say the new ones. I can't remember what these rentals were from, but they're rental bars. They're good bars, and more importantly, they're straight. But yeah, that just feels so much better. I'm just making sure I'm not going to roll too far back. I've got a log there. That's fine. Yeah, that feels a lot better. I'll work it around the block just to just to make sure. I'm going to have a quick look at the mirrors. So I do have the Thundercat ones that I took off. I might just see if they go on. Yeah, let's have a quick look. In a word, no. The gaps between the two is different, and actually they don't come out far enough, so they're sat at a weird angle for one, but they don't extend far enough. You're just looking at your chest, which is obviously nice, but no. I'm going to chuck the other one back on. I might just chuck the base on rather than the whole stalk, and then either see if I can find a replacement, or as I said earlier, look at getting the ones with the indicators on the back as well. Right, I think we're pretty much set. I'm just chucking a bucket of water over the bike just to get a bit of dust off, and I think I might take it out for a quick bimble. I'm being supervised. Lady, are you helping? Are you helping, bud? Right, let's get this bit cleaned up, and I think I'll grab my kit. Right then, let's see what she's like with handlebars that point in the right direction more than anything else. Yeah, we'll just tweak it around the block. Now, there's a good MCM review on these where it sums it up as nice leg shame about the face, and I think they're right. Particularly with the one headlight on regular and the two on full beam, which makes it look a bit boss-eyed. It's not the best looking bike in the world, and I'll happily concede that, but it is a lovely place to be. So let's go for a quick wander around the block. There you go, ABS light's gone out, which can only be a good thing. It's so comfortable, and I know I say this about a lot of bikes because I don't like sacrificing, you know, looks for speed or comfort for speed or anything like that. I don't know if it's an age thing. It's got me in my mid-40s and I can't be arsed with shit that makes me uncomfortable, but it's a lovely place to be. Has it got self-cancelling indicators or not, or is it after that? No, it hasn't. That's fine. I never trust those anyway. Feels strange with only one mirror. I know that several people, including Charlie, don't like mirrors or use mirrors, but I do, and it feels weird without one. So I am going to have to replace that. I can't survive with just one. Now it does have ABS, and you can feel it. Hello. Yeah, you can feel it compensating for you, which is nice. Actually, I hadn't even noticed the handlebars. That's better. That's bang on. I was concerned if I'd missed a twisted forks or something like that, because that would have really fucking hurt me. But that is bang on. I didn't even, in fact, it was so bang on I didn't even notice. Didn't even notice there was an issue. Gear change is nice and smooth. I saw one review online on these where they're saying about, you know, it's the ultimate lazy bike, so you can just stick it in third and leave it, and it'll do everything you want, especially around town. And I can see it. I'm in the second now because I'm pootling around the block, but yeah, I can completely see that. It's a nice and upright. I'm getting enough off of this. It's not particularly windy and I'm not going fast. I'm getting enough off that to protect my body. I know about my head, but I am stupidly tall. I'm going to pull over here in the shade in my normal spot. Oh, they've got lights down there now. That's a pain in the arse. I wonder what they're doing. Yeah, so does it make noise? Yeah. Does the fuel gauge work? Yes. Does it have a clock? Yes. I know they're stupid things, but why bikes have gone away from fuel gauges, I've no idea. It's just handy to have. I don't want to keep an eye on my odometer and work out how many miles I've done. Right, let's give it a go. How's pickup on you, mate? Should we give it a go? Find out. hell's pick up on you? It's fucking mental, in a word. Oh, can you change your mind, lights? Jesus. It's no slouch, shall we say. So there's a D-tube blade engine and you can feel it. It's just, but it's more subdued. It's not the best way of describing this. I feel like it could kill me. I don't feel like it wants to. Now that is a stupid description, but it's probably about as good as I'm going to get. I see a doggy off the lead. I'll take it nice and gentle because I know my dog's stupid. And a quick wave. Fucking hell. Oh, I think we're going to get on. Assuming nobody whips around the corner and twats me on it. It's loud enough, but it's not daft. I've got quite used to Sting, who is just a fucking loud, shouty boy. Let's face it. Yeah, there's quite a step up from an old 400 onto a not quite so old, but still fairly aged litre bike. Could have been interesting. Yes, as much as I'd love to keep pootling around on this, I won't just yet. Yeah. Got to get used to where the stand is and everything on this. Right, let's whip you back onto the camera. Right, and we're back. I think best described as a bit of a menacing throb this thing's got. Let me just jack you up. We'll give it a bit of a twist. Yeah, liking that. I'm liking that a lot. It's a lovely place to be when you're sat on it. I can see why people cruise for fucking hours on these and days. Obviously, I've taken off the big side panniers. I haven't got the panniers, the racks. I don't think I'm ever going to use those. The box, regrettably, I'm probably going to have to, which is a shame because it looks great without it. But you know, not yet. Yeah, that'll do. What's in a name? He's got to have a name, and he can only have one, really, can't he? Because he's blue. So, say hello to Blue. Slight homage to Doghouse Customs. If you're not watching Craig's channel, please do. It's fucking brilliant. It's way ahead of mine. Not only in subscribers and followers, but in his ability. It's fucking brilliant. Years as a blacksmith, knows his way around metal. The London Bike Show, he had one of his on there, and it's his attention to detail is just incredible, but also his ability to meet that detail as well, which is where I fall massively foul. It's brilliant. Go over and check. But he's got a very cool dog called Blue. Right, happy. I can't put it off anymore. I'm going to have to show you the absolute abortion that I've made of the exhaust for Phoenix, and what I'm going to do with it next. Dana, welcome to a disaster recovery. Yeah, sponsored by JB World. So I did as I mentioned on one of my, I think Nat's Natters one when I'm cruising around. Thanks for the title, Dan. I was blowing as many holes as I was fixing, so I did what I could, which actually added a lot of structural metal to it, which was good. And then under the bulb, that's effectively got a load of normal exhaust paste on there over the remains of the holes. Now don't get me wrong, I closed 90% of them up, and it was just lots of little pinholes that was left, and each time I tried to weld them closed, I'd weld them larger, then I'd fill up the hole a little bit, and I was just chasing errors basically. So put a load of the exhaust, normal exhaust paste around it, put the bulb on, tack welded that on, but of course this is so thin it was just melting it through in many cases, so it bit, it stuck. I'm struggling to see what I'm pointing at here because there's reflection of the sun on the lens. So then it was a case of, right, get some JB Weld. This is the high temp stuff, so it is designed for exhausts. Went round the lot and just basically went to town with it. So I've gone round all of the seams just to try and seal it off a little bit. Now my initial plan was to just paint it, but it's going to look wank if I paint that, and I'm not entirely sure how this is going to react to paint either. What I do have is exhaust wrap, which is precisely what I am going to do. I don't like exhaust wrap generally, but there is a time and a place, and I think this is both. Frankly, it also means that I don't have to piss around, tighten it up too much. I can just get the worst off, which is what I've done, and then wrap over the top. I know there's schools of thought over which way you go, backwards, forwards, etc. And I know this is probably wrong, but I am going to start from, I don't know. I'll have a think about it. I was going to start from the front, wrap it round so that I can get to there, leave a load hanging off, put the double link joint in, and then carry it on across. But of course, I'm then facing the wrong way at the front. I don't know. I'll have a bit of a think. Don't bother suggesting, because I would have done it by the time I posted this. But yeah, so next vid, I'm not going to bother filming or uploading wrapping, because it's wrapping a piece of metal with a sheet of fiberglass. I do wet it beforehand, do it nice and wet, but the next video should be with it mounted on the bike, I think, more than anything else. Yeah, cool. And I can't test whether or not it works. I suppose I can. I could plug in the ECU temporarily, the existing one, and go through that palaver, just have it hanging off. Yeah, it might work. I might see if I can test its seal on the next upload. Right, cool. That'll do me for now. I've got a bit of shopping to do for Blue. So my shopping, for your aging memory or your crap memory, Nat, I want to get a bung, a crash bung. See if I can get a replacement, or buy a pair probably. I'm going to get the indicators embedded in the mirrors, just because they were good actually on the Thundercat, and I want to get new brake pads. These are fine, but I'm not going to use it as in have it as my commute until I've done those, because they're a bit low. I mean, there's part of me saying, oh fuck it, just go for it, but actually, brakes are the most important thing on a bike. If I'm going to trust my life to it, I want to do it when I know I've had hands on it, rather than somebody I don't know or have any record of. So it's not going to be the commute bike yet. That should be next weekend. That way, when I'm changing the pads and I find anything else like seals, for example, then I can then I don't have to fuck around pissing around with swapping insurance twice. Cool. Yeah, just spoken to your man that had this before. He's uninsuring it tomorrow, which is good of him. He just couldn't be asked doing it not tomorrow, Monday. He's going to uninsure it. So at the moment I'm fine riding it, because my insurance covers another bike, any other bike, as long as it's insured by as long as it's insured elsewhere. So happy. Right, the only other bit that I'm thinking of is I don't like for something that's quite easy to fix, I might just whip those off and go black so it follows in from the seat. I think it might just look better. And they're only plastic panels. And like I said before, I'm really not fussed about grab handles or no grab handles on the back. There's grab handles on the box, which I will have on it routinely when I use it as a commuter. Right, that'll do me. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? I think it's fucking brilliant. Cheers all. Catch you later. Ta-da.